Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are getting into our war in Dai Nam to grab Dai Nam from Dai Nam. So this will basically give us a full Anglo-Indian hegemony over a full English hegemony over Southeast Asia, and that will be very good in the long run. We also have the war kicking off. So we'll go ahead and invade with the Madras army. We'll invade Tonkin, the capital. We also have Siam slowly going down in Liberty Desire. Slowly going down in Liberty Desire, very slowly. Just improving relations. I could support the regime, which will cost me a little legitimacy. I don't want to cost myself legitimacy right now. Because I don't want to goof up my ability to do stuff in my own country. I suppose I could diplomatic play reduce their independence. I should do that. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do once I'm done with Dai Nam. I'll do a diplomatic play to get Siam down in Liberty Desire, or to get them down in autonomy. Although they're going down at a good clip now. I kind of want to though. I kind of want him as a puppet. TBH. TBH vac. All right, we're almost halfway down to getting our debts completely clear. So maybe by the end of the year we'll be good to go. All right, 46% landing progress. Very good. Feeling pretty pleased about that. And just a little farther now. Here we go. One more battle. I say. And that should be the end of... Well, that should be their capital occupied, and that'll be basically the end of the war being a challenge, or at least potentially a challenge. Yeah, what? Their army has finally arrived at the front. This force comparison looks rock solid. We are still crushing it, absolutely crushing it. Dealt them a ton of casualties. Yeah, okay, so most of their lost force support is coming from casualties, which is fine. Pushing our way towards the south part of Vietnam. Stop the presses. A newspaper banned under East Indian laws started being printed again under the permissive laws of Denmark and smuggled across the border. You still have your copy, right? I'll pay you half of it. I'll pay you half of what you gave for it in Danish Carnatic. Her friend handed over the paper. You know, my dad says it's all rubbish, what it says about the general. Yeah, well, he can't read, can he? We can look the other way just this once. Presidency, armies, Hindu priesthood, and zamindars, all unhappy, increases relations with Denmark. Or crack down on everyone spreading this filth. Decays relations with Denmark, presidency, armies, Hindu priesthood, and zamindars, all happy. You know, I'm going to go with that second one. That's very good for me. That's gonna make my interest groups a lot happier. Do a promotion. The Hindu priesthood demand the promotion of Brigadier General Ishvari Ram, touting his history of loyal and effective service. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on O'Doherty's face when the lieutenant general learned of his imminent ascension. The rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. Ishvari Ram has earned it. Happier Hindu priesthood. Or the Hindu priesthood will not force her hand. Angry Hindu priesthood. Happier government of India. Oh, I'm doing the second one. I know. I'm about to piss off the Hindu priesthood even more. But the government of India, I need to get them happier to the greatest extent possible. Because the happier the government of India are, the more I can, the sooner I can get the caste system abolished. ever-increasing influence. Members of the Anti-Russian Association have discreetly dispatched one of their numbers to amplify their mission in the Dominion of India's most widely read newspaper. The Anti-Russian Association has calculated with utmost mastery the dissemination of materials to secure a foothold in both the political world and the public's imagination. With great satisfaction and lobbyist comments, there is no denying that the number and reach of newspapers is ever expanding. This approach is sure to reach influential lawmakers to favor our scheme. This sets a bad precedent. Government of India is salty, or this is ingenious. Increased appeasement, reduced legitimacy. I'm gonna have to go with the second one. It is what it is. I can't afford the government of India becoming mad. I really want to get rid of this caste system. Siak is improving relations. The national movement will not impact the caste system. Which movement's supposed to get rid of the caste system? I don't know. I don't know, and it's bothering me. Oh. I did it. Start improving relations again straight away. Their liberty desire is going up, but once we've built some stuff inside their borders, things will be better. We can do some more consumption taxes now, right? We've definitely got the authority. Let me see. Porcelain we can put a consumption tax on. And tobacco as well. Nice. That'll get us a little bit of extra cash as well. Very slowly, we're getting to the point where we don't, where we're not in debt anymore. Actually, I think we can start building stuff again. So, what does our market need? It needs a lot of engines and a lot of grain. Oh my goodness. Market access is Robert Borked. Needs a lot of ports is what it needs, apparently. Oh man. Alright, well, first things first, let's max out the ports. Maybe I need to get a tech to increase my maximum number of ports, because this situation seems really rough. Sorry, I feel like that song goes real slow and I just don't love it. It's not that it's bad, I just don't love it. Sorry. I've been recording a long time and it's getting to be a little bit. Okay, so I think we need more motor industries, so that's one thing we'll focus on. West Bengal seems perfectly solid in terms of infrastructure. Let's see what else. We definitely need more textiles industry and more coal mines. We could build some explosives industry. Let's build some explosives industry. Central provinces, perhaps? Yeah, we've certainly got plenty of labor available here. We'll need to build infrastructure first. So, 4 railways, and then 20 levels of explosives. Actually, we'll only build 10. I don't need that many bombs. The market will only purchase so many bombs. We need more lead. Do I have the ability to... Do I have lead in my countries? Yeah, a few. Ooh, I got a bunch in Malaya. That's good. Good thing I took over Malaya. So, what's our infrastructure situation? Oh, the infrastructure situation in Malaya is just fine. Alright, so that'll be fine. So, Dravidian movement... Oil and Mendeley. So the Riots will not be powerful. Probably, because I went to commercialized agriculture. The Ryots are getting weaker and weaker. Despite their support of the national movement. Harvest conditions, pollinators surge, but only in Guatemala. Trade unions are feeling better, that's good. And soon. So basically, I want the government to be at plus 11 or more. Before I do this whole, before I do the caste system thing. They're getting decaying opposition to the increase to multiculturalism. They're also getting decaying malice to opinion from the failed petition, which is slowly going away. Rubber rush. Rubber has successfully been grown in Assam. The fragile nature of these trees and their difficult-to-meet conditions make this achievement exceptionally important. I'm going to say the same thing I always do. This place seems to be the most effective. How is the rubber market in the British market? Rubber does not seem to be very a very profitable thing to produce right now in Great Britain. But probably that's partially because of the shortage of market access. Anyways, hopefully our building up our ports will help solve that situation. Spain has formed the Latin bloc. Now that's interesting. What kind of a bloc is that? Hey, there's repeaters. Wonderful. The Latin bloc is a sovereign empire. Persian mass immigration. Cool. Let me see, what was I about to do? Oh, right. Uh-oh. Modern nursing. Excellent. Oh, right. I was going to improve the production methods of my arms industries. I'm also going to swap these over to... no, I won't. It's fine. It's fine. So, we have a liberal revolt in Sindh. It's very small. I'm not too worried about that. But I will send the Khalsa army, just in case. I probably should have waited on that. That was probably not the ideal time to send the Khalsa army. Champasak left the British Empire. Because they were annexed by Siam. Or no, because they... Oh my goodness. Prussia is going after Japan. Foreign investment rights at a treaty port. Wild. Perhaps I'll get involved over there, perhaps I will not. Curious. Oh, a scandal in West Bengal. Police have shut down a notorious male brothel. The arrested proprietor has revealed that George Sutherland is part of his clientele, and this information is leaking to the press. An indescribably loathsome scandal has struck West Bengal. The captured boys were made to confess, and the Evening Post reports that another sensation about this affair will soon burst. 22 men implicated, blue bloods and others, have fled from the Dominion of India. George Sutherland must resign immediately, or try to cover up the story. I don't want to bet on who I get next, so I'll try to cover it up. Let's see if it works. Is everyone mad at him? They are. Well, that's fine. Losing authority is not that big of a deal. Hey, Japan, you want to be my protectorate? Oh, interesting. Get war goals. Transfer subject. No, it wouldn't... Not this time. Okay, Prussia. You would give me a large pile of money if I supported you in this. Power block embassy. What would this do? Cool. Oh, I bet that helps you get into a power block if you want to be in one. It would be very funny. You know what? I'll do it. I'll get a bankroll. Excellent. Oh my gosh, this is really the silliest. This is extremely funny. I'm gonna be getting a huge pile of cash from Prussia for supporting their adventurism in Japan. Oh my goodness, this is the silliest. Alright, so probably... Harbor discovered in Dai Nam, very cool. Basically, I just forged myself a deal to transfer wealth from Prussia to Great Britain. This is extremely silly. I'm very pleased by this. I'm pleased as punch with this outcome. I've got a lot of bureaucracy to play with now, because the government of India is happy again. But I shouldn't touch that money. I need to say, I could do a little bit more institutions. Paquito, more healthcare. And we'll do a little more law enforcement as well. So here's this war. Disease among the wounded. The deaths from the disease among the wounded soldiers has skyrocketed. Imagine a quart. You know how much a quart is, right? No? I picture 2 cups of tea. Now imagine instead of tea, they're full of maggots. That's how many we pulled out of this one fellow after he was left to fester. This is troubling. Reduce recovery rate, or offload some of the strain to the civilian medical sector. I'm gonna have to do the civilian medical sector one. I always do. I can't afford to lose the recovery rate. Alright, so what kind of armies does Japan actually have? All the regular infantry and lancers? That's what it's... Oh no, they got some line infantry. Alright, so I'll need to bring an actual army. I'll bring the Bengal. We'll respect them with the mobilization of a real army. And there's the Sindhi Liberal Revolt dealt with. So, these places are connected, yes. So we'll bring in an army in the south. And we'll just go ahead and get started. Can I press the button again? No, not yet. I can probably go ahead and demobilize the Khalsa army for now. Sikkim, I don't want to support your independence, Sikkim. Against my own? Against the British? My very own overlord? Support your independence? Ridiculous. I would never. I am a loyal subject of Queen Victoria. Is Queen Victoria still ruling things over there? She is. She's quite elderly at this time, but she is still running things. We're winning our naval invasion. Very good. Stop the presses! A newspaper banned under East Indian law has started being printed again under the permissive laws of Denmark and smuggled across the border. You still have your copy, right? I'll pay you half of what you gave for it in Danish Carnatic. Her friend handed over the paper. You know, my dad says it's all rubbish what he says about the general. Yeah, well, he can't read, can he? We'll crack down on everyone spreading this filth, just as we've been doing all the time. That's fine. Oh, my goodness. Being adjacent to anarchists has really worked wonders for my internal politics. Cause without a rebel. Although Shanmukham Krishnamachari is still fighting for his cause, no one is following him anymore. Despondent, Krishnamachari has started publicly remarking that he may give up on his activism altogether. What's the point? Speakers when we have them speak to empty halls and empty chairs. There's no crowds, no banners. If anyone pays attention at all, they never understand anything we're preaching. What reason is there to stay here? We're all stuck doing nothing. Perhaps he can find greener pastures elsewhere. He's exiled. A little study and reflection might revitalize the movement. Extra popularity, because this is available because he's erudite. Or no time for timidity, the movement needs drastic changes. Okay, so this is the Indian national movement. I'm going to say he can go. He can go. It's fine. I don't need that movement to be any stronger. If I make it stronger, I'm going to lose my my home rule event. This doesn't lose if we... Or nothing happens if I get to the top of this bar, right? No. Whichever way forward. With the attitudes of the civil servants towards the Dutch East Indies growing more apathetic, their leadership has begun to discuss reassessing the group's support for the Dutch East Indies Society. It was more difficult to get appointments at the foreign ministry these days. The initial interest they had inspired had long since waned, the lobby's activities falling into Calcutta's background noise. The civil servants were the first to lose interest, their representatives initially disheartened by the absence of news, and then no longer inclined to read the papers when they arrived at all. What reason do we have to care for happenings in Batavia? Their younger members challenged. The elders did not know how to respond. It's time for a change in course. They leave the society. Or why change something that works? They remain. Yeah, they can leave. That's fine. That's just fine. I don't really care about this lobby anyway. Alright, Government of India is up to +7. And we're about to be successful in our naval invasion, it looks like. I think if we're getting 25% per successful battle, then we'll need to do one more. And then we'll be able to press north up from the Ryukyus. This Prussian naval invasion has just completely failed out. But we got really solid attacking capability here. Come on, one more victory before the armies get here. Yes! Alright, cool. Alright, and now we're in Hokkaido. We're in Hokkaido and moving north. Okay. The enemy has arrived at the front. Our units have arrived there as well. And it's a kind of a toss-up. But they've had a bad blunder, and we're winning this battle. And I'm feeling reasonably confident in my ability to press forward in this. Obviously, we're doing an absolute pile of damage to the enemy force, and that's really important. Oh, the presidential armies are now influential. That's wonderful. New neighbors, new grudges. I don't love this event. A minority group of Persians has recently settled in the state of northern Sirkars, seeking a better future. However, the local English elites are stirring up resentment, claiming the Persian newcomers will destroy the traditional way of life. They don't belong here. Our English customs, our way of life, they'll be lost if we let the Persians settle, claimed a prominent landowner, his words echoing across taverns and markets of Vizagapatam. The newcomers, hopeful but weary, whisper of opportunity but face closed doors and hostile stares. The old English ways cannot continue to dominate our modern nation. I'm going to do the same thing I always do. I don't want to get huge radicals there. These are only newcomers, and most of the radicals, most of the people in northern Sirkars are not from either of these two ethnic groups. So I'm not actually super worried about it. Like, northern Sirkars, we look at the population... Well, 41% English. There's quite a few English here. Still, that's interesting. I didn't know we had an English kind of majority around here. That's curious. Ooh, actually... I've got two separate fronts, so I'm going to need to mobilize the Khalsa army over here before things get stupid. Alright, beautiful. But actually... Nah, I'll leave them there. If the enemy takes Shigoku, it won't be that big of a deal. Because now that I've got Kansai, I believe the Kansai is still the capital. So now that we've got Kansai, that should be really significant. Okay, and we got Prussian units coming up to support as well. So that'll be just fine. Yeah, as long as we don't end up with a situation in Shikoku where we can't get anything done, that'll be fine. And it looks like we haven't got that, so... Chubu's got a frost. Am I reading this right? Yes. A hailstorm. A hailstorm. That's bananas. Cool, but bananas. It's raining cats and bananas over here. So how much cash am I getting from Prussia right now? 24.7k. That's not that much. Huh. I wonder if they changed the way bankrolls work. Well, we'll see. We'll see how things go. Hawaiian mass migration. Very cool. Alright, and Japan is losing war support significantly now, so this war should be pretty much done. Pretty much done in very good time. I think actually the financial... Ooh! Electricity. Wonderful. I think the financial situation will be more easily noticed once the war is over and my units demobilize, and I might be able to be in the black while building, and I would be just pleased as punch if that were the case. Just delighted. Alright. Rubber in Bangkok. Rubber in Bangkok. Oil in Assam. Very nice. Encourage this trend. Oil's the future. Oh, cripes. I forgot to read that one. I think that's the first oil rush we've had, but there'll be more as time goes on. Okay, it looks like I am not in the black while building, which is a shame, but it is what it is. We're very nearly done with the episode, so let me see. Let's quickly review where we are. Government of India is at +6. They'll continue to increase in approval as time goes by. In fact, they're at +7. So if I wanted, right now, I could go to caste system enforced by bringing the civil servants into the government. But I don't want to do that. What I really want to do is go to affirmative action. But caste system enforced is enough. You know what? I need to get the government up to +11 in order to make that happen. Because I can't let them get below 1, below 0, or it's gonna be a real shit show. So I think I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna stay the course, keep the government of India happy, keep things shipshape in Bristol fashion. Immigration from Korea, very nice. And we'll go where we wish to go. So, Siam. I think it's time you were reduced in autonomy. Who would fight? Netherlands would fight. Cambodia would fight. I don't really need to care about Netherlands. They might accept. Let's see if they do. They did not. That's okay. We'll put the Bengal army and we'll put the Madras army here. And we'll grab the Indian Navy and put them here. Actually, no, we'll put them here. I think we want a third. We want someone raiding convoys and someone escorting convoys. And other units on interception, and then it'll be fine. And soon Siam will be a puppet, and everything will be well. Netherlands sides with Siam, that's not that big of a deal. Is there anything I could add as a war goal? Anything I could steal from the Netherlands that would be fun? I could steal the East Indies. That would be extremely funny. But I don't wish to do that. Although it would be extremely funny. The Anglo-Indian East Indies. Still can't request government reform yet. It hasn't been 5 years, I suppose. Is that really what it is? Yeah, it hasn't been 5 years. Well, it is what it is. We're about to finish out all those mines. So hopefully that'll ease up our finances just a bit. And then afterward, we'll be able to do everything we wish to do. Another uprising, another anarchist revolt in Ceylon. It's interesting that anarchist movements are kind of more of a thing in this patch. It's kind of exciting and fun. The world is new and interesting. Japan's continuing to colonize over this way. That is what it is. They didn't take Sakhalin, which is curious, because usually Japan takes Sakhalin, no problem. But not this time. They didn't decide to go there. Yeah, force comparison in both of these situations looks just fantastic. Again, it would have been extremely funny if I broken some chunks off of the Netherlands, but I didn't wish to do that. Dangerous equipment. The furniture manufacturers in East Indian Oud have seen an increase in workplace injuries due to increased mechanization and poor safety regulations. Accidents have always happened, but I felt like I used to have time to react. Not this time. I grabbed his arm to pull him out of the way, and I'd barely gotten hold of his wrist before the arm was all I held on to. I'm going to go with we can't put the brakes on the engines of progress once again, and that just is what it is. I gotta keep the government of India pleased. I'm India. I've got to please my government. Oh, Jamshedji Tata finally retired. That's why. There's the war. So who do we have running things now? We have Motilal Nehru. Oh, he's an historical character. That'll be fun. Maybe I'll use a picture of him eventually. Depending on how things go in the government. You know, and not necessarily saying we're going to have, you know, Indians ruling India or anything like that. I'm not some kind of crazy. But, you know, it would be pretty cool if Native Indians had more participation in the structure of British rule of India. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Nothing radical. Nothing radical. It's funny. First I was going to be like, I'm going to create a total fail state. And I've sort of slowly moved towards further along the continuum of sensible British rule over into being into Indian home rule. With that having been said, that is all the time we've got for this episode. My nerds, I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I will see you on the other side.